Okay, so I'll start the recording. Okay, thank you, Ebo. Yeah, I will put the recording in the folder as the last time I sent to you the link, so you can access the recording files in that folder. Yeah, the link that I sent to you. Also for the materials, I sent you the my Google Drive. Yeah, I hope you still have it. Uh, if you don't have the link, you can ask me, and I can give you through WhatsApp group. All right, we shall continue our discussion on the topic about the online macro environment. So this is the chapter 3. So if you still remember last week, we discussed about chapter 2, which is basically the micro environment, which involves the consumers, suppliers, as well as the competitors. Now, in this particular topic, we will be more focused on the macro environment, which include the the 6 forces. What are the 6 forces? It is known as PA, PESTLE, PESTLE. Yeah. It consists of political, economic, social, technological, legal, and last one is the environmental factors. So we as a digital marketer, we have to constantly scan the environment. We have to know what actually happened in the environment, especially with regard to these 6 forces. So we call it as environmental scanning. So as we can see from this slide, it is stated that we have to constantly scan the environment. We have to be aware whether there are any changes in the environment and whether those changes can create opportunities or threats. This is I would say it's the utmost important things that the digital marketer should do, because we cannot just close our eyes and hide from the environment, because there are always something happening in the environment, whether it's in political, economics, and so on and so forth. And those factors are surely would affect how we are conducting our digital marketing efforts, as well as the strategy. If there are any changes in these macro environmental forces, sorry, there's a typo here. So we have to really consider those factors and include these changes in our strategy. That's why it's so important to scan the environment constantly. So in other words, we have to really take careful attention on the environmental forces surrounding us. Okay, before we continue to the second slide, I would like to invite you, not invite, asking you about something. So I already provide this. I will use this apps. It's called the mentimeter.com. Maybe some of your lecturer have used this. So I would like to ask your opinion. What external factors affects digital marketing the most? So as I already told you, there are 6 factors, right? And according to your own opinion, what factors that affects digital marketing the most? So I will share the link to the chat, so you can answer the questions through this link. You can try it right now. Okay, technology. Okay, is there any other factor? The link, you can click the link and try to answer the factors. Choose one that you think affects the digital marketing the most. Is there any? I think only one of you. Okay, social factors. Thank you. Okay. Is there anyone else? Political factors, of course. Okay. Is there anyone? Is it everyone already answered? Right? Okay. Maybe that's enough. Thank you for your answers. So I would see there are 3 answers here: economic. Oh yeah, because there are 4: the political, economic, social. So each of you has different answers. Right. So yeah, I would say these 6 are very important, all of them, but there are 2 factors that are can be considered as the most influential factors affecting the digital marketing. Yeah, according to the book, these 2 factors are, can you guess? So among these 6, there are 2 factors which are the most influential to digital marketing. So according to the book, and I also agree with that, those 2 factors are, first, this one, technological, and the second one, the most important factors are, is this one, economic. So these 2, yeah, according to the book, and I also agree with that, the 2 most important factors that can influence the digital marketing the most are technological and economic factors. That's why in our discussion, we will focus more on these 2 factors, technological and economic. So thank you for your participation. If I may know, who answers the technological and economic? Who answers the technological?
I did,
Uh,
uh,
okay, yeah.
Stefano.
Oh, Stefano. Okay, that's good. Uh, who answers economic?
Me, sir.
Vivina. Yeah. Thank you so much. So both of you are right. Yeah, they are the most important factors. So we will start discussing on technological factor first, right? And then we continue to economic afterwards, and the rest of the factors, right? We can see on figure 3.1 is the what's we call it as the waves of change. Yeah, According to these pictures, we can see the pop culture is always changing. Right? That's why the waves like this. This week, the famous song is this song. Maybe next week or next month, different song will appear, replacing the old song, and that's the pop culture. It's constantly changed. Social, not so much. So the wave is like, yeah, like this. Technology, technology is quite rapidly changing. That's why it's pretty much similar to social and pop culture. Pop culture is super flexible. So maybe in weeks, in days, the changes are so constant. E-commerce, government, and of course the least change is presumably the natural environment. For example, in order for the rock formation can be formed, if you know the Grand Canyon in the Nevada, US, it is if I read the story about how the Grand Canyon was formed, it took around like billion of years, right? Yeah, billion, yeah, million, yeah, billion of years, so that those rock formation can be formed. So the natural environment, the changes are, yeah, is very slow, yeah, compared to the like technology or social changes. So if the technology and economic condition factors are constantly changing, rapidly change throughout time, how can the company deal with that? So one way for the company to deal with the change in the environments is through what we call as the strategic agility. So the word agile, so agility, it comes from the word agile. Agile, it basically means we are able to move quickly and easily. If there is change, the company can easily adapt their strategy and also their operation. It means they are agile. If the company is slow to adapt, that simply means they don't have any agility. And sadly, maybe the competitors is having more strategic agility, or they have higher strategic agility than our company, then we can be left behind by the competitors. So it is very important for the company to have this agility. So strategic agility, basically, we have to develop a sound process in which we are trying to review the marketplace opportunities and threats. So yeah, we review, we try to scan the environment, what really happened, what actually happened in the marketplace, and evaluate those changes, those of those marketplace scanning results that we perform, and we evaluate them whether there are opportunities or threats. Yeah. So based on this, we can select the appropriate strategy options. And this is very important for digital marketers to understand. Okay, before we moving on to technological force, one quick way to know what happened in the digital marketing world is that we can try to find out what are the trends in the digital marketing. So when I browsed the YouTube last week when I am preparing these materials, I found out one interesting review or interesting video, yeah, with regard to digital marketing trends in 2022. So I would say we can try to at least know something about what are the trends, especially in this year. So yeah, we shall take a look together. So what are the trends in 2022 within the context of digital marketing?
A product or service is nothing new, but
All right, could you hear the voice from the videos?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
today, in order to tell a tale successfully, the focus should be on the customer as opposed to the business. It might sound like a subtle shift, but by shining a spotlight on the user's experience and understanding the things that make them tick, brands have the opportunity to create memorable moments that boost awareness and engagement. Apple are masters of brand storytelling. Just look at this dynamic video in which the physical product takes second place to the actual experience of using AirPods Pro. Featuring fast-paced shots of the protagonist as he shows off his skipping rope skills, it feels like watching a music video as opposed to a piece of promotional material. And when it comes to championing the customer, Apple's 2020 relatable narrative, aptly named The Whole Working From Home Thing, perfectly captured the mood. Chaotic video meetings, cramped home offices, teaching kids while they're trying to reply to emails. The ad demonstrated that Apple recognized the frustrations of remote working, while subtly showcasing how their tools and features are designed to support people wherever they are. Meanwhile, aftershave brand Old Spice has moved away from its comedic style with this inspiring and character-centric advert that's designed to promote its School of Swagger mentorship program. Encouraging kids to dream big and walk in the footsteps of a famous astronaut or brain surgeon, it's a compelling watch that places everyday people in the spotlight and couldn't be further from a more traditional sales pitch. Is marketing about to enter a whole new world with the arrival of the Meta?
Okay, the first one is digital storytelling. That's the trend in 2022. This year, I think last year it was also a trend that we have to tell story to convince people. And the second one is, I think the most interesting part is metaverse. Let's see.
Metaverse? In October 2021, Mark Zuckerberg shared his vision for a social technology company that he says represents the next step in the evolution of Facebook and its family of platforms. In his words, the metaverse will feel like a hybrid of today's online social experiences. It will let you share immersive experiences with other people even when you can't be together, and do things together you couldn't do in the physical world. Only time will tell what opportunities Meta presents for brands seeking to connect with customers around the world, and marketing teams might start to feel some hesitancy around spending money to promote products and services on Meta platforms. However, if you do plan to use Facebook and Instagram organically, you can ensure your content strikes a chord with this pack of 9 social media templates, featuring bold shapes and modern typography that's sure to catch the attention of followers. Establishing a presence on the right platform is just one of many decisions facing marketing professionals, business owners, and influencers. So, to help you create a successful strategy, we've linked to our trends piece in the description below, which runs through all the hot topics you should know about, from snackable video to social commerce. As attention spans have reduced, the creation of snackable content has skyrocketed. Just look at the popularity of
So the third one is basically about the short videos. Yeah. Before, for me, I like to watch long videos, but now my attention have shifted to the short videos like Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, IG Reels, and TikTok. Yeah, and it's kind of like addicting, like if you watch the short videos, like I kind of forgot about the time. Suddenly I just spent almost 1 hour. I just keep scrolling and scrolling the video, after one video to another, and it's addicted. And that's the trend nowadays. Yeah, how people do the digital marketing. They make advantage of this short videos. And and we as a digital marketer should have known that that's the trend, and we have to follow the trend. Some of them we have to follow. It's better than not, right? Because that's what really happens nowadays. Okay. And before we continue on this video, I would like to ask you. Maybe we can have some little discussion about the second one, especially the metaverse. Have you tried any virtual reality devices? Maybe have you tried like Oculus, Oculus Quest, Oculus Rift, or even or you some of you have that devices at your home, or you like to play the virtual reality? Maybe Stefano, Darren, Eugene, have you ever tried that? No. Okay.
I think Abel. Oh, Abel is not here, so I think should be Abel.
Yeah. But even though you haven't tried, but if the devices are getting cheaper and a lot of people already try it, do you want to buy and try, Miss Stefano? Are you curious? Maybe let me put this way. Are you curious to try the new technology?
Well, for me, I think I'm more interested if it can be um the racing simulators nowadays are getting very like almost real, like the ones that in the Formula One drivers used to train themselves, like the sim racing. And if it's like it can be, if it would be nice if we could like use the Oculus Rift or the I don't know, the devices, the VR devices to like so we can feel like we're inside the car. I'm more interested in that. Like I think it can be done by now already, but yeah, I'm interested for that cost only, nothing else. Yes, because yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite interested. Well, maybe if it's like a warfare game like Counter Strike or maybe PUBG, something like that, it would be fun. But I don't know.
It's more
It would
immersive.
be fun to play GTA 5 or GTA 6 in
Oh,
VR.
GTA. Oh, yeah, okay. You played GTA 5?
Yeah. I play GTA 5, but nowadays it's getting boring. I think because it's just an update and everyone is wanting the newer GTA 6, but some people said that it would be as like it would be much of an upgrade. So maybe if they include VR in GTA 6, then I would buy the Oculus or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's where the world. I mean, if you read the news, everyone is just crazy about the metaverse. Everyone is talking about it. You read the news, the YouTube, even the YouTuber, the famous YouTuber, the influencers, they are discussing about metaverse. Even in the church, even in the church,
Yes.
they also talking about metaverse. And I just watched, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, one of the churches in Jakarta, they tried to have a service in metaverse. It's very interesting. Maybe I can show you. Wait a second.
But in my opinion, for the what is it called? if it's like church services or like a gathering, I think it would be still makes sense to me. But if you start to sell a land in the metaverse, like I don't think that's um doesn't make sense to me. Like you're buying a land
Mhm.
that's not actually there. It's just a digital base, and like you buy it with real money.
Yep.
Like if you can buy it with some currency that you can easily get, like if it's the system is like money, then I think it still makes sense. But now it's like you trade your real money, convert it into cryptocurrencies, and then I don't know. I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't
No,
know.
it doesn't
In my
seem
opinion.
yeah right now. It's a very new, novel concepts, novel ideas. I don't know. Maybe eventually people will begin to accept it, right? As many institutions and also people are trying to adopt the metaverse, and who knows, in the future, uh, maybe it's not in very near time. It I think I believe it should take at least 10 or more than 20 years, or more than 20 or to 30 years, so that the whole platform of metaverse can be really formed, and yeah, we can have a land there. But I also don't know, and doesn't seem right for now. For me, like Stefano also said that it doesn't make any sense, but that's what really happened right now. For instance, NFT, like if you read the news, one guy from, I don't know where he's coming from. He's the Indonesian, but he was able to sell his pictures, his identity picture, for billion of rupiah. So what happened? And it's just a piece. It's just a picture, and but he was able to sell it for billions, if not millions of rupiah, using like NFT, not NFT method, and that's very weird for me. But that's actually happened, and then if many people adopt that kind of technologies in the futures, then we don't have any choice, right? To in order to adopt it. It's the same for the digital marketing. We have to find out what are the trends and try to use that for our own advantage. Similar to this short form videos, this is the trend nowadays. Even for me, I like to see the short videos more compared to the longer videos, and it makes me addicted to see the short videos one after another. And yeah, then now the digital marketers have shifted to use this method as well. Right? We can see like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and so on and so forth. We have to know this. We have to know this, what actually happened in the environment, and that's our job too, right? To as the book said, we have to constantly scan the environment. That's how we do it, right? One way to do it is, yeah, you just search. Nowadays it's so easy to find the information. What are the trends? You just simply browse the Google, and if you are too lazy to read, you just watch the video, as the one that I showed, like this video, for example. You begin to know what really happened in the environment. So the first one, two, three. Also, that's the third one is the short video platform. Okay, so we shall continue this.
Short form video platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels. But it's not only about quick fire entertainment. short-form video is an increasingly important marketing tool. Easily consumed on a variety of devices while viewers are on the go, digital video consumption is spiking around the world, with predictions that by the end of 2025, it will reach 82.2% of internet users in the APAC region. That's 2.2 billion viewers. So what do you need to know about this highly impactful content format? First, short-form videos have the capacity to communicate a lot of information in a short space of time through images, text, and speech. Like these mini marketing guides from Later Media that share hacks and how-tos alongside screenshot examples, a friendly host, and pop-up on-screen takeaways. Second, short-form videos ensure accessibility, thanks to the addition of subtitles and closed captions, which means videos can be enjoyed with the sound off and by those who are deaf or hard of hearing. When it comes to short-form video marketing, remember that a vertical format suits Snapchat, Instagram Reels, and TikTok, while a square or 4:5 aspect ratio is better suited to Facebook or other in-feed platforms. It's also essential to convey your brand message as early on as possible. Achieve all this and more with an opener pack and introduce your personal brand or business in style. Our video marketplace trend. No, not the furry blue Sesame Street character. This database trend is all about tracking key performance indicators or KPIs. We're talking about metrics like
Anyway, I hope you get the idea, right? The main point that I want to convey to you is that we have to find the trends, and one way to get the what actually happened in the environment is just browse the Google or find video like this on YouTube. Then I think you are good to go. Yeah, of course you have to find the channel with high credibility. For example, like this, you can see the number of subscriber, and Pato has more than 100,000 subscribers. It might mean it is like legitimate source, right? And it seems that the content that are discussed here could pretty much makes sense. They're starting from the digital storytelling, the new technologies such as metaverse, the use of videos, and so on and so forth. So that's an easy way to find, to know something about what really happened around us. Yeah, that's one way. Or if you want to find more videos like this, you just simply type the keywords on YouTube, digital marketing technology trend 2022 or 2023, and so on and so forth. Then you can easily know what actually happened in the market. Like I'm pretty much interested in the short videos like that. The one that was discussed on the video that I showed to you, right? It seems very appropriate nowadays if digital marketers can focus on the short videos like on TikTok, Reels, or Shorts on YouTube. Because of what? They also explain it on the videos, right? Because it has videos, of course, it has graphics, and it also has the subtitles. And of course, it's the short videos. A lot of people would like the short videos, I think, compared to the very long videos, because humans has a limited attention. Like for example, when you're attending a class, right? It's hard to fully concentrate on attending like 2 hours class. It is easy for us to maybe to attend like half-hour class, right? Because we have to, if we attend like 2 or 3 hour class, we have to spend more efforts, right, to really concentrate, to focus on the videos or on the class. But if we attend the very shorter class, we can have like we can be more focused, right, and we can have more energy to concentrate on it, because yeah, our brain has a limitation. Yeah, that's the main point, right? Our attention towards something has a limitation. Maybe one if you are attending class half hour or even 1 hour top the most. Afterwards, you are beginning to feel sleepy, you are getting bored, and you are not fully focused anymore. That's our weaknesses as a human. And because of that, the uh, the technology helping us, like through the short videos, and digital marketers surely can make advantage of it to create better strategy to promote their products and services through the short videos, because of many advantages and benefits that the methods would have. All right, we are continuing to the technological force. Yeah, the short videos, the TikTok, IG, YouTube is also the technology. So when the technology change, especially when there is a technology, there is a new technology coming, or we have a new technology, we can easily use it for our own advantage. And since digital marketing use technology a lot, then the changes in technologies would surely affect how the digital marketing can be done. We can use a lot of new methods like short videos or virtual reality in the metaverse world, if it is available, like in the futures. Yeah, of course, if there are many people already in the metaverse, then we have to adapt. We have to adapt our marketings to promote our products in the metaverse, following the technology. That's why the technology is so important, and it can affect the digital marketing very much. All right. So here on figure 3.2, this is basically about the information exchange between a web browser and a web server. I believe all of you already studied this. Yeah, this is how the internet works. Right? They use the client server architecture, right, in which the client has a communication to the server, and we simply use the internet, right, through the ISP, internet service providers. And the web server, in the web server there are several databases. For instance, there are database server, the web server, and also the transaction log file, and so on and so forth. So this is the basic technology that we use from the beginning of the internet in 1990s, 1980s. Right? Even we still use this kind of technologies until now. So there are two there are the difference between intranet and extranet. So we know what internet is, but there are two different kind of nets. The first one is the intranet. Intranet basically is a private company internet with access available to staff only. So we can call it as maybe VPN. for a private PVN, yeah, private virtual network, which can only be used by the company. Yeah, we call it as intranet and extranet. Yeah, extranet is basically can be accessed by authorized third parties, such as customers, suppliers, and distributors. Yeah, it's just simply a kind of reminder for you. I believe all of you already studied this, at least in the introduction of the information system or the computer systems. So we know there are three kind of net: internet, intranet, and extranet. So basically, if you're talking about the internet, extranet, these two are used widely in the companies. So if the companies want to connect to their suppliers, usually they use the extranet service, because the suppliers can access the company's information system through the extranet. Usually they can use the PVN, the virtual private network, yeah, which is secure, right? And they usually we call it as the extranet or private network. Yeah, we can say it as a private network. So check private. Yeah, VPN, yeah, virtual private network. Yeah, this can be applied to the extranet, yeah, to VPN. So this figure is more is easier to understand, the relationship between the internet, the extranet, and intranet. So the internet is the internal only, which the internet can be used for the marketing, and for the extranet, if the company want to have the secure environment and they don't want to share their network to the public, they may use the extranet. And this is the relationship. So the intranet is the company only. The extranet can be accessed by the suppliers, the customers, the collaborators, and other stakeholders, which are granted access by the companies. And of course, the internet as the wider areas, right? It's the world. Anyone can access the internet. Yeah. But in order for certain users to have an access to the company's information systems, of course, they should have either the access to it, the login, like maybe password or a username or password and other kind of authentication, so that they could access the extranet or the internet. And there's a figure 3.4, relationship between the access to internet, extranet, and the internet. Talking about technology, we are always concerned about the security. It's a major concern in which digital marketers must understand, if we are dealing with technology, especially if we are using the internet. Security is always being great issues. Therefore, the digital marketers must not only know how to use the technology, but they also have to really understand the risks using that technology. In particular, the security issues as well as the risks it may have. So there are main security risks pertaining to digital marketing. First is related to the confidentiality. yeah, the data breach, right, and hackers which are able to steal our confidential data. Yeah, that's the security risks that should be that the digital marketer should be aware of. The credit card details, because the digital marketing, we want the customers to have the conversion, so that they have the customers have to do transaction, right? In order to have the transactions, they have to pay using some kind of methods. One major methods for payment is using the credit card. So when the credit card information is being input into the system, then automatically the information about that credit card can be known to the system, to the customers, sorry, to the companies, right? And the company should uh, store that information, yeah, not only the credit card information, but also the other personal information about the customers. And what happens if the information is stolen? It can affect the customer's privacy as well, because the data, the information are being stored by the company, and we don't know whether the company is using this data for good. Yeah, they're using it only for the consumers right, for the purpose to promote to the consumers, or whether they have other ideas, right, or others ways to deal with the data. For example, they can sell our data to other institution, right? They of course it would violate the privacy, our privacy, right? That's the things that we have to really concern about as the digital marketer. Yeah, the point is the security. Yeah, the security is always there. The security issues. Then yeah, we have to deal with the security issues when we are trying to promote. At least we are aware. Yeah, at least we are aware. We don't need to be the security expert. I don't say if you want to be a digital marketer, we have to be a to learn security. We have to know the cryptography and so on and so forth. No, there's other people who are responsible for the security issues, but it is always a good idea. As a digital marketer, we are aware about these issues as well, because uh, it surely affects our digital marketing efforts if there are any security incidents happening in our company. For example, if there is data breach in the companies, when we are doing digital marketing and there is a data breach, or there is an attack, and a lot of customers' data are stolen, and that would ruin our digital marketing efforts, right? People will not believe our company anymore, yeah, because maybe we are the people, the customers may feel that you don't take care our data seriously, because and therefore there are a security incidents and so on and so forth, right? It is a very fragile issues. So that's why our companies nowadays, they are trying their very best. They are trying very hard to handle these securities related issues. And digital marketers should know about that, and digital marketers should also help that if they are doing digital marketing, they have to make sure that everything is secure at the first place. The technology that they use, they should consider it's secure, it has a good security, and yeah, if they are doing it, then it shouldn't be any big issues for the consumers. Yeah. So other than that, we know about the technology trends, and we also discuss about how important the security is. So as a digital marketer, we have to aware as well about the cyber security threats. Yeah. As you can see from the pictures, is the cyber security threats in 2021. Yeah. If you want to know about the threats in 2022, you just simply browse on YouTube or on Google. Yeah, you can see what kind of threats, yeah, with regard to cybersecurity. So in 2021, the threats were related to cloud security issues, the application programming interface breaches. Yeah. It's pretty much related with the data, right? If somebody wants to hack the cloud or their API, the hackers in this case, they want something, right? And are those, what are the something that they want? Usually data, yeah, information. They want to get the information. For example, the credit card information that is valuable, or the other sensitive informations like the uh, your mother's maiden name, like nama ibu kandung. Yeah, if you are, that's a very important information, especially in Indonesia. Right? If you are dealing with the bank usually asks about your mother's maiden name, yeah, nama ibu kandung. Then if the hackers got that information, they can easily hack your bank account, and that's very dangerous. IoT hacking, Internet of Things. Nowadays, we use a lot of smart things, smart homes, smart fridge, smart. Everything is smart nowadays, and since it's smart, it's connected to the internet. So everything, if everything is connected to the internet, it doesn't mean it cannot be hacked. Yeah. Since it is connected, I think it can be hacked to some extent. Yeah, that's a real issues here. So the more devices are connected to the internet, I think it becomes more dangerous for us. Yeah. Machine learning threat. This is also the one of the interesting issues. Uh, we are afraid that the AI can outperform humans. That's a problem. If you watch the movies, Terminators, Matrix, you name it, a lot of movies about AIs which outperform the humans. They are clever. They are more clever than humans, and it can become threat, threats to humans. Yeah, machine learning threats. We are beginning to afraid about the AI. Yeah, you can just read the news. If I'm not mistaken, Facebook, they a few years ago they did the experiment using machine learning, and they suddenly stopped the experiment because the machines they were beginning to talk with each other, and they tried to do something outside of the owners or the humans control, and they just suddenly stopped the experiment, and that's not good. Yeah. You can search about the news, and maybe there are other news about the AI, right, that which can endanger humans later in the futures, and a lot of movies are telling already discuss about that. They already mentioned about the danger of AI, especially when they are using the machine learning and so on and so forth. Network vulnerabilities, it was happening. Yeah. if you know the denial of service attacks, yeah, when people use DOS attack, denial of service, the legitimate users such as us, yeah, cannot use the server because it has been flooded with the false information. That's why it's called denial of service. The network has a lot of vulnerabilities. It can be attacked through it can be infiltrated with the Trojan application, botnet, zombie bots, you name it, a lot of things. Cybersecurity, which can use network vulnerabilities as their media, yeah, to transform to transport the dangerous apps like virus, Trojan, worms into our computers. If we are not careful, then our computers cannot be accessed, like ransomware. It was recently happened like a few years ago. The ransomware, we click something and then suddenly our computer is being locked. Then we have to pay certain amount of money to the hackers in order to get our computer back. That's not pretty at all, right? And the last one is social engineer attacks. Yeah. So basically it used the psychology weakness of humans. Yeah, we try to scheme to do the phishing attack, like we try to cheat other people, yeah, using our lies. Yeah. We call it as the social engineering attacks, and it's surprisingly successful. Yeah, because some people they are easily trusting somebody. It depends on the people, right? Because we are uh, we are different, right? There some people they are easily trust somebody, and there are some people they are very hard to trust someone. And the social engineering attacks, they exploit the goodness in people, especially those who are easily trusting someone, and they try to cheat on them by asking what are the password, like maybe some of you has like received the SMS, right? Received some SMS. Actually it's a phishing, right? If you already won this kind of prize, 100 million rupiah, if you want to claim the prize, you have to click on this link. And that's one part, that's one strategy of social engineering attacks. Yeah, if we are not aware of it, it seems legitimate, then yeah, you are caught. Yeah, and that's the threats that maybe the digital marketing should also be aware of. Yeah, this because it's everything in digital marketing, as it suggests the name digital. Yeah, we use a lot of technologies, and since we use a lot of technologies, we also have to concern about the security of the technologies. That's why we have to aware, to know something, yeah, to aware, to, yeah, at least we read the news lah. Yeah, we read the news about the threats, about the security, about the advancement of technology. What are the news? That's our homework as the digital marketers. We cannot just stay still, yeah, stand still and do nothing. We have to, as a digital marketer, if any one of you who after graduating you want to focus on this job, I strongly suggest that you keep update yourself, yeah, by reading news, reading articles, watch YouTube. Yeah, the one that I showed you. If you are too lazy to read the articles, the magazines, right, you just simply watch the YouTube videos regarding the recent technology developments, the recent trends, the cybersecurity threats, and so on and so forth. One technologies that is popularly used by the digital marketers as well as the company is the mobile apps. Yeah, we use mobile apps a lot to order foods, right? We use Gojek or Grab Foods to book hotels or flights. We use Traveloka or Ticket.com. Yes, that is mobile apps. Even though we can use the browser, yeah, the websites, but it seems to me personally is kind of more convenient to use mobile apps nowadays compared to use websites. I don't know why. It's just more convenient. It's faster, and I always carry my phone with me all the time. That's a very important fact, right? Why mobile apps becomes very important, because people may not use their laptops or PCs all the time, right? But most people, they will carry and use their smartphones all the time. Most likely, I think 90%, 95% of them. I believe all of you like that too, right? You always carry your phones wherever you go, anytime, even before sleep, after you wake up, you use your mobile phone. And that's why the marketers nowadays, they really focus on this, the smartphone. Yeah, we call it as a mobile marketing. And one way to market through mobile, in the realm of mobile marketing, we use mobile apps. There's a video here. I forgot to put the link. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Select tool.
Bayar cuma 10% di Lazada Epic Birthday Sale. Beli sekarang.
When it's expensive.
Kebayang ya susahnya cari.
All right. This is about the apps finding a parking place. Yeah, cari parkir. I don't know whether you have used this kind of app in Surabaya. Honestly, I've never tried this app, but I have terrible experience in finding a parking place in the mall during weekends. I believe all of you should, I don't know, whether you have that kind of experience too, right, to find a park in a very busy hour during weekends in the mall. And these apps overcome that's problems.
Parkir kalau lagi ke mall pas weekend. Tapi tenang aja SMB Friends, sekarang nyari parkir jadi lebih mudah dengan aplikasi Sumarekon Mall. Pertama, buka aplikasi Sumarekon Mall dan pilih menu parking di halaman utama. Kedua, klik tambah kendaraan untuk mendaftarkan kendaraan kamu.
This is the app developed by the Sumarekon. Sumarekon, just in case you don't know, Sumarekon is one of the biggest developers in Indonesia. In Surabaya, we know they have Ciputra, right? Pakuwon. I don't know. Surabaya has Sumarekon. Have you heard Sumarekon name in Surabaya?
No, sir.
Stefano? Maybe no, yeah. Derek?
No, sir.
Yeah, maybe no. Yeah, not yet. Maybe not yet. Yeah, yeah. I heard the biggest developer in Surabaya, yeah, whether Pakuwon or Ciputra. Yeah, but in Jakarta, Summarecon is considered as one of the biggest. Yeah, these big developers, and they have their own mall, Summarecon Mall. It's near my house. Yeah, around 5 to 6 kilometers from my house, and it's very crowded. Yeah. Last weekend I went there. I went to Summarecon Mall. Oh, it was so crowded. It wasn't that difficult to find a park last week, but I believe when the pandemic changed to endemic, and if everything is going to normal, it's become crowded again. It's very hard to find park in that mall. And these apps is built by the Summarecon as a value-added service for their members. It's kind of like a customer relationship management, and we can.
Ketiga, masukkan nama kendaraan, plat nomor, lalu upload foto STNK asli agar bisa diverifikasi ya. Setelah itu, kamu hanya cukup menunggu sampai admin melakukan area parkir yang kamu inginkan, lalu pilih tombol booking untuk mereservasi area parkir yang sudah kamu pilih. Setelah itu akan muncul halaman penukaran 3 stem yang perlu kamu setujui, dan kamu akan terdata dan kamu akan mendapatkan QR code Get. Dengan aplikasi Summarecon Mall, kamu nggak perlu ribet cari parkiran lagi deh. Selamat mencoba ya SMB.
The parking place, yeah, if you use that app, is already served. Yeah, it's already booked for us. Just park according to the designated areas on that apps. I mean, shown on that apps. Yeah, that's so helpful, I guess. Yeah, for finding a parking place in a crowded mall. That's how the company use the mobile apps. Yeah, other than using it for the e-commerce transaction. Yeah, they can use it as like this for the value-added service for their customers. Yeah, as a part of their customers relationship management initiatives. I think that's a good example for useful mobile apps applications for the company to use. I think you also have your own mobile apps, right? If I'm not mistaken, for Petra, yeah, I saw you have your own mobile application. Is that correct? Anyone want to tell me about that?
Oh, yes, sir. It's true. We have our own mobile apps.
Oh, okay. What are the main functions of that mobile apps?
We usually do it for the absent, so the lecturers can just show the QR code and we just scan it.
What else?
We can see our grades, our credits.
Credits, all right.
And we can see the latest news, the latest event from the school.
Nice. Yeah, that's a very sophisticated technologies. Yeah, even UPH, I think UPH has one, but I don't know whether it has that kind of features like attendance, and also the finding other kind of features that are useful. Yeah, but it's always a good ideas to develop mobile apps so that the company, in this case, the university, can really make advantage of that mobile apps so that they can improve the service to the students. Yeah. Before the companies try to build their own or develop their mobile apps, of course, they cannot just build or develop it, yeah, without any reasons. So there are key questions to ask prior to mobile apps development. Yeah, these are the questions. First of all, are the apps a strategic priority for us? Yeah, in other words, is the app useful or not? Yeah, Maybe we should ask that first. Yeah, ask this question first. And when the second question is pretty much about the operational areas, right? Whether we want to build the by ourselves or we use other existing apps, and whether the apps is free or paid, and which category of application, how to promote the mobile apps, and how to maintain the apps, so revive the apps. If there are any holes, any bugs, how do we fix it? Yeah, so these are the concerns before the companies are trying to develop their own mobile apps. Yeah, the next technology that that also very important is about the social location-based marketing. The digital marketing has used this function a lot. Yeah, it's a kind of a fusion between social and mobile marketing. Yeah. When customers posted something on Instagram, on Facebook, yeah, we can add the location, and it's becomes easier for the marketer to see what really happened to their customers. It's also useful for Google Maps. For Google Maps, if you wanna kind of like advertise your restaurants, your business, yeah, you can add the location in your Google Maps. Yeah, make sure all the location are accurate and all the information can be accessible. Yeah, it can be your own advantage too. For example, if let's say Google Maps, right? Maps. Yeah. For instance, if I wanna eat kway teow in Surabaya, yeah, I can just search to the Google Maps. I can find all those locations. Yeah, the business owners for sure have to provide the complete and accurate information. Yeah, and the rest let the Google does its magic. Okay. QR codes, everything is before we use the barcodes. Yeah, as the technologies is more advancing, now they are introducing the QR codes because they said it's more sophisticated, more advanced. Yeah, if we are using barcodes, we have to how to say, we have to scan it on a perfect angle, right, in order to scan barcode properly. But if we are using QR codes, since it's more, I don't know how to say, is more sophisticated, more advanced. If we are just if it's not correct, if the angle is not that correct, we can still scan it. It's different than barcodes. If it's barcode, we have to really like straight lines, then we are able to scan it. Okay. And nowadays, the digital marketers are using this QR codes. Even if we use Peduli Lindungi, we have to scan the QR codes, and it's become standards nowadays for scanning. Yeah. Talking about the GIS technologies in Indonesia, we are starting to change to 5G, yeah, from 4G to 5G, but in abroad, especially in China, they're already moving to 6G. Yeah, we kind of like left behind in terms of technology, but that's okay. We are catching up. Yeah, we are catching up. Even 5G is already very good. Yeah, I cannot imagine how the world would be like if we are fully make use of 6G. 6G. I have the news. Yeah.
The US and China are locked in fierce competition for an edge on next-generation technologies, including 6G. And it seems China could already be one step ahead in that race. NDD's Juliet Song has more on that.
Yeah, especially China and Huawei, they are building or developing the 6G technology.
Chinese tech giant Huawei is reportedly vowing to lead the world in 6G technology. Even though it won't be commercially available until 2030, countries are already racing for the top spot. Both the US and Japan are spending big dollars on 6G development, while Beijing has set 6G as one of its key research areas. But why is 6G so important? It's said to be at least 10 times faster than 5G, and it can power fully self-driving vehicles.
Yeah, there are, of course, if the G is increasing, yeah, and the later number, of course, it's better than the previous one. 5G is better than 4G. It's also similar to 6G. It's always is better than the 5G. And it is said that 6G 10 times faster than 5G. It can be very beneficial to support the as we call as metaverse, right? Virtual reality and also autonomous driving and so on and so forth. That's why they're really the China, the European, maybe US, they are so eager to develop this kind of technology as infrastructure support, right, to fuel their main technologies, which are, yeah, the metaverse, the virtual realities, any applications that relies on fast and quick bandwidth of internet. Yeah. So 6G can offer that, and we'll wait and see for another, like they say, like 20 or 30 years from now, where 6G will be widely available, and of course, we as the digital marketers can make use of this new technology. Marketing value of technology innovations. So digital marketers should decide which kind of technologies that should be used. Yeah, and we have to carefully choose which technology that can give us our competitive advantage. Yeah, the key is this competitive advantage. We cannot just solely use technologies and just use it, but it doesn't bring us any competitive advantage. That's why it is also important to evaluate the value of that technology and to relate these technologies to our strategy. Yeah, whether it can bring competitive advantage, it can bring any increase in performance of our company or not. If it is not, maybe it's not the time, or if it's not the right time to adopt that technology. And according to the literatures, there are 3 attitudes of the managers which they trying to adopt the technologies. Yeah, attitude of managers to adopt technologies. There are 3 attitudes. The first is the cautious one. Yeah, I think if I were the manager, I also be part of this group, cautious. Yeah, I like to wait and see. I would like to see other people do it first and see what happened, and then if it is successful, I would try it. If it's unsuccessful, then maybe I would wait for another few years. And the second one is the intermediate or fast followers. Yeah, it is simply let others take majority of risks, but if they are proving successful, then we rapidly adopt the technique. Yeah, it's kind of like a cautious, but is more risk takers. Yeah, if the group, if we are belong to this second group, intermediate, yeah, still we are still have the cautious, yeah, we still have to be very careful, yeah, because we are not the early adopter. But after the technology is proven to be successful, then we quickly adopt the technology. And the third one is the risk taking, or in other words, we call it as the early adopter approach. Yeah, early adopter usually is the risk takers. They like to take a risk, even though the technology is not stable enough, is still ongoing development. There are many risks involved. They don't care. They just want to adopt the technology, and the risk, they will take the risk. Yeah. This is called the risk taking or early adopter approach. As for me, as already mentioned, I am kind of belong to this group, yeah, cautious, wait and see approach. But it's all depends on the people. Some people, they are risk takers. Some people, they are in the middle, right? In the middle, meaning that either they are also they are both cautious and risk taking. We can call it as the intermediate, but risk averse people, or we call it as a cautious. Yeah, it's a wait and see approach. I think this is the safer one, but it can be a problem if other people prove to be successful, then it can be left behind because too much weight and we eventually we are left behind. I think that's the caveat of being too cautious. Maybe I would say intermediate can be a better option. Yeah, in my opinion. Right. On figure 3.7, it illustrates the what we call as the diffusion adoption curve. Right. We can see the y-axis is the number of new adopters. The x-axis, the horizontal axis, is time. As we can see, as the time when the innovation product or the innovative products firstly introduced, so we can see the time here, yeah, in the beginning of the time when the products is firstly introduced, is the innovators, yeah, the innovators, or we can say as the risk takers. Yeah, they begin to adopt the new technologies, and eventually, as the time goes, the opinion leaders try to adopt the new technologies, and then the early majorities, yeah, on after the technology is there for some time, and number 4, late majorities, and the last one is the laggards. Yeah, laggards is the conservative adopters, which means is they're very late to adopt that technology. This curve is very popular. Yeah, if we are doing research on innovation, there is a theory so-called the diffusion innovation theory, and this is the one of the major curve or major pictures that is described in the theory. So basically, it is saying that there are different types of people, different types of companies who are willing to adopt a new technology. Yeah, and we can divide it into 5 categories, starting from the innovators till the laggards. As for me, if you ask me if I own the company, I think, yeah, I don't have any I don't own any company, but assuming I have my own company, I would be probably maybe early majority is the safest. Yeah, not too late, but not too early. I don't know. do you have any opinion about this? Yeah, if you have your own company, which category that you choose? Maybe any of you have ideas? Darren or Lian, who wants to contribute?
Maybe it depends, yeah, sir.
Darren?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Darren. Yeah.
It depends on what your it depends on what your company works.
Okay.
Like
Depends on the industry, right? Is that what
yeah,
you're saying? Yeah. So
if it's
yeah.
it about technology, maybe we will try to use the first one.
Oh, okay. You choose the innovators. Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
and we can like do some trials and errors,
Mhm.
and then maybe we can evaluate from that, so
Yeah.
we can know what our decision is good enough or no.
All right. All right. So I assume since you choose the innovators, you are the risk takers person. You like to take a risk because we'll never know. This is a new technology. It can fail. It can have many bugs. It can have many errors, right? This technology is unproven, but you still want to adopt it, yeah, in the very early stage. Yeah, that's innovators. Yeah, a lot of things can happen. Usually, risk takers are doing this, and not so many. Yeah, that's why we can see the percentage only. It only has like 2.5%. Yeah, and the most percentage are from these two parts, the early majority and late majority, because this is kind of the safest, yeah, the safest way to adopt technology. uh, Not the way, yeah, the safest stage, yeah, safest stage to adopt technology, because we can see, we can learn from the mistakes, yeah, from the innovators and opinion leaders, and we are not too late, yeah, to adopt the technologies as the last two groups here, late majority and laggards. Yeah, and anyway, each person has their own choice, yeah, and of course, uh, people have different reason why they choose one and another. Yeah. Darren said it depends on industry. I totally agree. If the industry is related to high tech company, maybe it's not wise. Yeah. In my I think, yeah, it's not that, unless you are very risk takers and have a lot of capitals, maybe you can be innovators. But if you are having a limitation on finances, and you are not that sure about adopting that new technologies, then it's not good idea to be the first group, the innovators. Maybe you should wait for some time. Maybe you can choose the opinion leaders or maybe early majority. Yeah, it all depends. Yeah, that's why company has to perform very careful and accurate calculation in order to evaluate prior to uh, on, prior to decide whether they want to adopt or not the new technology. Yeah, I think that's the main point that I want to convey to all of you. As I mentioned, the division of innovation, yeah, division innovation curve. This curve can be used to, yeah, there are two things: understand the stage at which customers are in adoption of technology, and look at adoption of a new technique by other business. Yeah, so we can understand our customers. That the first thing that we can have the advantage of the curve. And the second one, that we know at which stage our competitors are in. Yeah. So the commercial application of diffusion innovation, it was firstly developed by Gartner in 2011. Yeah, this is the complete stages, what we call as the Gartner hype cycle. Yeah, similar to the first diagram, we can see the x-axis is time, the y-axis, this is different, this is the expectation. So as we can see from the beginning, when the technology firstly introduced, there is a R&D, the research and development, and the startup companies starting to come in. And there was the first generation products. The price is very high usually, yeah, when the first technology, the new technology is introduced. And then the early adopters, yeah, the early adopters try to adopt the technologies, buy the technologies, and at the peak, yeah, the peak, it means that the technology is proven to be successful. A lot of customers already try to buy the technologies, and after the peak, there's a sliding through, yeah, beginning to slide down, and there's a second generation of products. That's why we have like the different generation of product, from iPhone 4, iPhone 5, now iPhone 13. Yeah, that's the generation of products. Yeah. And afterwards there is a plateau. Yeah, plateau means it doesn't increase much, and then yeah, it's just a stable. It's stable. It doesn't increase, but it doesn't decrease as well. Yeah, this is according to the Gartner. Yeah, we call it as the Gartner hype cycle. And in another figure, 3.9 is the alternative responses to changes in technology. So as we can see, the innovator is pretty much similar to the first diagram that I showed to you. Yeah, the innovator, they rapidly change, yeah, the strategy by adopting the technology, yeah, because they are the innovator. And you can see the zigzag, the purple line here is the responder. Sorry, technology changes, and the orange line is responder, yeah, and the late one, yeah, is the laggard. Yeah, as we can see, the changes they did, they changed the strategy very late, yeah, throughout the time, completely different than the innovator. Yeah, in the beginning of the time, they directly change the strategy and they adopt the technology. But for the responder, it's not that as rapid as the innovator, but seems they are in the middle, or yeah, they are in the middle between the innovator and the laggard. Yeah, I think this is the safest way. But the technology changes. This is interesting. Yeah, they kind of following the trend, and it's not that consistent. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, sometimes they make change quite rapidly. For example, at this point, sometimes it's not that rapid. Yeah, we call it this as a technology changes responses. Yeah, anyway, that's how the researchers illustrate how the adoption, yeah, how the new technology is adopted by the consumers. Yeah, we have three graphics or diagrams at least, yeah, to explain that phenomenon, yeah, the adoption of technology. Yeah, as we mentioned previously, there are two factors that are the most influential to the digital marketing. First, we already discussed that in quite detail, the technology. Let me turn on the light. It's already dark here. Yeah. The second one is the economic, economic forces. There are several things that we have to be aware of. As the digital marketer, we have to aware about the market growth, the inflation rate in particular, also the trend in patterns of consumption. This is the demand. We are talking about the demand. We can use the technology to forecast, to do forecasting, to identify the patterns. We can use the big data, the data analytics, data science, to have some insights on the customer's demand. The second one is globalization. Nowadays everything is interconnected between countries. The international trading is very important nowadays. We have to also concern about this, the effect of globalization on our business. And of course, the third one is the economic disruption. Economic is not always going well, but there is a time the economic has some disruption. For example, there's a recession. There was a depression. There sometimes the inflation rate is too high. There's also a problem with the interest rates and so on and so forth. All of this, of course, could affect the digital marketing. As we can see from this line, the picture here, this illustrates of what happened in 2008 and 2009. So there was a financial crisis in 2008 to 2009. If you remember the housing bubble crisis, right, in the US, there's a recession here. So that's why the GDP of the US, this is the I think this is the US data, the United States data. It's really dropped in 2008 and till 2009. Afterwards, they can recover. These are the root causes of they say it as the Great Recession of 2008 to 2009 due to the housing bubble issues. Very low interest rates that makes a lot of people bought houses. And to make the story short, many people cannot pay their mortgage, and it raised to the housing bubble. And this housing bubble caused the Great Recession of 2008 and 2009. And this is it's very, it was very bad at that time. Big companies like one of the big companies, it's also failed. It's also was also declared bankrupt because of this Great Recession of 2008. One of the investment banking. Let me check the name. Suddenly I forgot the name. Recession 2009. Okay. Subprime mortgage crisis. This the other names. U.S. housing bubble, global financial, and What's the name of the company? Anyone remember the name of the company that was going bankrupt in 2009? Banking. No, this one. Actually, a lot of companies were bankrupt. Or this one, Lehman Brothers. Sorry, suddenly I forgot the name. Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers was considered as one of the biggest investment bank in the US history, and surprisingly, it was bankrupt because of that Great Recession in 2009, 2008, 2009. Yeah. Okay. Now, what happened nowadays? How about now? We have wars. Yeah, Russia, Ukraine. They are under war right now. Yeah, it can surely affect the global economic. Yeah. Let's see this.
APBN 2022, pemerintah telah mengesahkan anggaran belanja yang disertai dengan target capaian ekonomi tahun 2022 dengan pertumbuhan sebesar 5,2%. Kita lihat pertumbuhan PDB terlebih dahulu. Dari angka ini kita bisa melihat perjalanan jatuh bangun perekonomian Indonesia dihajar pandemi masuk ke resesi pada tahun 2020.
Yeah, so there was a recession due to pandemics in 2020, and gradually it was increasing, and we are at 5.2% GDP, product domestic bruto. This is the inflation rate, in average around 3%. In January 2022, yeah, I'm afraid that it can be more than 3% in recent weeks to come due to the Russian and Ukraine war.
Permintaan.
So if the inflation is increasing, it means what? It means the prices are increasing as well. Yeah, before we can buy bread for 10,000 rupiah due to inflation, then the bread price is increasing. Like they say, we can no longer pay for 10,000, but we have to pay more. Let's say to 12,000 or maybe 15,000 because of the inflation. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to show you that the we as the digital marketers also have to be aware about the economic conditions. Yeah, we have to know at least about the inflation rate, the GDP, gross domestic products, and other indicators of the economics. What else? The wars, yeah, politics and legal forces. Yeah, because of the globalization, everything is interconnected, and if anything happen in other countries, it can also affect our countries as well. That's what actually happened with Russian and Ukraine wars. Even worse, it involved US and NATO. If they're really going to war, if NATO is really involved in the war, I think the situation becomes worse. The economy, the political, and other bad things can happen, and I think we don't want that. Yeah. Russian and Ukraine war, what are the effects for Indonesia? Of course, there are effects. The higher price, the higher oil price, and yeah, I think if you are interested, you can see the news by yourself. So this as well, for the digital market, we also have to have some awareness about what happened around us, especially with regard to politics and legal. What are the things that related to political and legal forces? The government action, the laws, tax. Yeah, that's also included in these forces. In Indonesia, we have several laws. Yeah, also laws about the privacy. One of the let me. Yeah, I think I will skip this. Yeah, this is one of the famous law about the ITE, Information and Electronic Transaction. Ya, Undang-Undang ITE tahun 2016 yang this is the revised version of 2008 version. This is one of the basic laws that we usually use if we are doing something or we are related, if it is related with the digital and information electronics. Usually we use these laws, ITE laws. For the copy of the laws, yeah, you can just simply search from Google, yeah, for the laws. And the last one is the social and cultural forces. The social, we have this significant implication for digital marketing. Yeah, we have to do our homework to find out what happened in the culture, whether there are any changes in the demographics, or if there is any phenomenon of certain issues like social exclusion for people. For example, now people like to be more isolated, like what happened in Japan. There is a term called hakikimori, or what, I forgot the name. Hikikimori. Hikikimori. Yeah, hikikimori. Yeah. In Japan, there's some people who likes to do hikikimori. Yeah, they like to be isolated, menarik diri. They don't like to socialize with others. So we can see as a total withdrawal from society. This is what happened in Japan. But in Indonesia, I think it's not that a big problem, even though maybe there are some small societies do this. But still, we have to be aware if there is something happen, yeah, related to that kind of phenomenon. The second one is language, if there is any changes in language. And the third one is about the environmental issues. And social issues, one of the problem in using smartphone is the phenomenon with what we call as a phubbing. Phubbing is the practice of ignoring one's companion or companions in order to pay attention or to one phone or other mobile device. For example, if we are in when we are in a party, or we are in dinner or lunch together, everyone is busy with their phones. We call it that phenomenon as phubbing. Yeah, they don't talk with each other even though they are together, but they are busy like playing with their own phone. That's the social issues, yeah, that should be observed by the digital marketers as well. And the last one is the environmental issues. Yeah, we are quite lucky that nowadays people use e-commerce quite a lot. That could reduce the environmental issues. For example, yeah, the use of papers can be reduced. Yeah, because the papers, in order to make papers, they kind of cut the trees. Yeah, if there is no much papers being used, they can save more trees. Therefore, it can be our environment can be more safe. Yeah, fewer. Also, people don't, maybe they don't like to go outside to shop. It can cause the fewer vehicle miles. Yeah, lower inventory requirements, fewer printed materials, as I said, less paper use. Also, the use of plastic bag. Right? Government is trying to reduce the use of plastic bag, right? So that the use of plastics can be reduced, and therefore the environment can be saved, right, from the plastics. And the use of digitization, yeah, dematerialization or digitization. Yeah, it means everything is being I mean, we are no longer use the hard copy anymore, like ebooks. We use ebooks rather than the hard copy books. It save more papers. Yeah, it save more hard copy documents, and it can contribute to the more green environment. Something like that. That's the social issues. Yeah, that's the social issues. Okay, it's already 6 o'clock. Yeah, we can finish our session. Is there any questions about this chapter?
So far not yet. It's been a great session. Thank you, Mr. Andre.
Okay, thank you, Stefano. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 6 of you, yeah. So the other 3, maybe they are busy with something. Yeah. Anyway, that's okay. Do you have any rules about the attendance? Like how many times the maximum number of bolos?
I think maximum is 3 times.
Oh, it's maximum is 3. Oh, okay.
I think previously I saw Joy, Gloria Joy, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it doesn't really matter, Stefano. You just actually, to be honest, I don't really care much about the attendance. Yeah, you can watch recording anyway.
Yes.
You can watch the recording.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't really bother about the attendance, but still the university's role, you still have to follow the university's role, so that you jangan apa ya bilangnya, usahakan jangan itu ya lebih dari 3 lah intinya seperti itu.
Yeah. Okay.
So
right.
Next week is midterm.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, midterm is next week. What?
Yes.
I thought we are still at.
Maybe we can postpone it until next 2 weeks.
Okay.
If the material not finished.
Yeah, I will ask Bu Indri then whether it's okay to postpone to 2 weeks later, the next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yep. I think still doable because the schedule of midterm is actually 2 weeks starting next week. So I think postponing it to next week is still to the next 2 weeks. I think still okay.
All right.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's better to discuss with Indri, but I think it will be okay for. I think midterm doesn't have to be like exactly it's the same as the schedule, but
All right, yeah, understood. Okay, I will let you.
Okay.
But
thank you. Bye
yeah,
bye.
yeah, bye bye. Yeah, thank you so much.
sir.
See you. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.